philosophy. Why is it important? Well, actually it's boring. It's really boring. It's arrogant and it's boring. So a group of chaps, probably white, more than likely middle-aged, beards and glasses in abundance, sat around looking down at people beneath their social standing and talking about those people and what makes for truth, reality and morality. So take Plato, for example. The ideal man, as proposed in Plato's Republic, is the philosopher king. And as Bertrand Russell, in his A History of Western Philosophy, states of the Republic, one of the conclusions arrived at is that rulers must be philosophers. Why, then, I hear you ask, are you, a middle-aged white man with glasses and the occasional beard, who is academically educated in philosophy, telling us about people who you're perpetuating snobbery in academia and philosophy? And that is a good question. It's because despite philosophy being tediously dry and dull, it is immensely important. David Hume would state that to begin with clear and self-evident principles, to advance by timorous and sure steps, to review frequently our conclusions and examine accurately all their consequences, are the only methods by which we can even hope to reach truth and attain a proper stability and certainty in our determinations. That mouthful, on the surface, seems to be very much in line with the scepticism that I, at least, am promoting. There's a very clear and obvious problem, and that's that clear and self-evident principles to begin with, axioms, as we call them in philosophy, we don't have a way of assessing whether they are wrong because they appear to be self-evidently true and confirmed by reasons or empirical testing, which relies on assuming that the axioms are true. So you can see the kind of circle we're going in here. It's a big forever circle. I mentioned that philosophy was boring, but it's not only boring. Not the dull parts, of course, those bits. The aforementioned academics playing journal tennis with their pet ideas, that's boring. Not the ones on social media speaking down to people about their precise academic epistemological definition of atheism. That is heart-rendingly tedious. If you only knew the numbers of people I've interacted with, philosophers, I've seen do this and inevitably finish their sentence with, I'm a professional philosopher. I have a master's degree in philosophy, as though that gives some kind of weight to their opinion. There is, unfortunately, a necessary undergraduate tedium of Wittgenstein thinks X, but when you skip this and bypass the philosophy bros, that area of social media where people without any formal training in philosophy lay out a syllogism that was new in the Middle Ages and has aged just as well as the hygiene from that period, you kind of get into knowing what I'm talking about. So what is important about philosophy is that it allows us to ask questions that prompt us to wonder, explore ideas, and reach for the unknown. When you get into a rich and exciting set of disciplines that allow you to wrestle with and be awed by the possibilities, and that's really important for me, that awe-inspiring nature of it. Mind, the universe, and our place in the vast foreverness of the cosmos stops being dry, stops being old white guys with glasses and beards looking down at people. It becomes accessible for everyone. It becomes exciting for everybody.